Line number 42. Antonio, believe me, no. I thank my fortune for it. Believe me, no means he is safeguarding himself and saying that he is not sad for his business. I thank my fortune for it means he thanks his luck for it. So he is just rejecting the logic provided by his friend Salarino that he was sad for having such risky merchandise. He is saying that he is very lucky in that case and he is not at all sad for that. It is Antonio's explanation. But we should know this one. It should be clear to us that truly Bassanio is sad for his business. He is tensed, extremely tensed and sad for his business. My ventures are not in one bottom trusted. That means my business. My venture stands for my business. Are not, his businesses are not related to or depending upon single ship. One bottom trusted means depends on single ship. So one bottom is written there, bottom means here ship, ventures means business. So he feels that his business, he is very proud of that fact that he is not depending on a single ship. It proves that he has plenty of ships. Not to one place, neither his luck, his profit is related to a single place. His profit comes from different places. He has multinational organization. His business is multinational business. His ships go to different countries. So he is not at all afraid of his ships. He is not at all concerned about a single ship. He has multiple ships. And second, his ventures not to one place. His business is not related to, his profit is not related to a singular place. Nor is my whole estate. Estate means wealth or property upon the fortune of this present year. So first let us read what is written in your book. It is written, nor is my financial state dependent on how well my business fares this year. Let us make it easier. It is written, nor is my whole estate, his wealth, his entire wealth does not depend on what? Does not depend on the fortune, that means profit obtained of this present year by the ships in this particular year. That means he has already saved lots of money. I tell you from beforehand, dear children, that what he is saying here, that is not true. His ships, obviously he has plenty of ships. But he has invested all his wealth for this year business, and he is saying that his luck is not at all dependent. His luck is not at all related to the profit of this present financial year, but actually he totally depends on the profit of his ships. Therefore, my merchandise, that means my business, makes me not sad, does not make me sad. Salarino, why then you are in love? He is not sad for his business, that is his prime, that should be his prime concern, but he is rejecting that fact. So his friends, since they are friends, they can joke with him. So jokingly they said, why then you are in love? So that is one of the reasons for Antonio to be sad. We should know that Antonio is unmarried and middle-aged person, and during that period of time in Elizabethan society, the rich people did not have any specific work beyond their business. What they used to do, they used to spend in luxury. They used to write poems, they used to enjoy music, they used to enjoy playing cards, and they used to enjoy sending letters to their beloveds. Those were the basic things to kill the time. I will not tell the term spend time, they used to kill time in doing these things. So this is one of the major reasons for saying such things, saying that Antonio, you are not sad for your ships, neither you are sad for your business. So obviously you are sad because you are a frustrated lover. Your love got rejected and you are sad for that. And in your phi, it looks very funny. You can see it is written there, nonsense. That means this statement does not have any sense at all. Salarino, not in love neither. Not even you are in love. So you are neither set for business nor set for your ships, not even sad for love, then what could be the reason of your sadness? The friends are in total dilemma. Dilemma means very confusion, great confusion. What would be the reason of his sadness? Then let us say you are sad because you are not happy. Merry means happy. So that is only one reason left. You are not sad, you are not happy because you are sad, or you are sad because you are not happy. Because we know sadness is the opposite of happiness, antonym of happiness. So that is the only, seems very silly but very practical reason left. He is sad because he is not happy. One is not tall because he is short, one is not thin because he is fat. Similarly, he is sad because he is not happy. And it were, it is written twere, T-W-E-R-E, means it were as easy for you to laugh and live and say you are merry. So Bassanio, Antonio is they are providing suggestion to Antonio that it is very easy for you to make yourself happy. It is extremely easy. What you have to do? You have to, it is written, you have to laugh and leap. So you only have to do what? You have to laugh and leap, you have to laugh and jump. And what you have to do? And you have to shout that you are happy. You have no reason for your sadness. So this is one artificial reason that Antonio is making for being sad. So his friend's suggestion goes like this, that he should do what? It is very easy for him to laugh and live. He should laugh and jump in joy and say and announce and tells everyone that he is happy. So happiness, ultimately, what is the moral of this one? Happiness lies in our own hand. No one can make us happy. Not anyone can make us sad. So he should jump in joy. He should be smiling and saying that he is happy. So this should be done by him. Because his sadness, his silence is making his friend sad also. Making his friend also very much frustrated. If one of the friends in the group remains silent, sad, frustrated, they all will feel the same. So all are trying to make him happy, but he is just rejecting, he is just terminating all their proposal and suggestions. So what could be the reason is, what you will read at the, when you will complete Merchant of Venice, you will understand that he is sad because of his ships, because of the rocks in the sea, because of the pirates in the sea, because of the dangerous waves in the sea, because of the flats and swallows in the sea. Now, by two-headed Janus. Now, by the name of two-headed Janus. Who was two-headed Janus? Two-headed Janus is taken from Greek mythology. Janus was a god of direction, and he had two heads. Just like in Indian mythology, Ravana had 10 heads, this man had 2 heads, this god had 2 heads. And both the heads pointing at two different direction. One is towards east, another is towards west. Okay, that means both are not looking at the same direction, but opposite direction. Janus, from his name we have got the month January. He is not only the god of direction, he is also the god of beginning and ending. That is why January begins a new year and ends an old year. So he is the god of direction as well as the god of beginning and ending. Also he is the god of war and treaty. When a war is fought, treaty brings an end to that war and peace. So he is also a god of treaty. So Janus is a god with 2 heads. Similarly, many people are there in our society who are of totally different nature. One remains always happy, another remains always sad. You can understand to whom he is pointing by mentioning sad. Obviously, Antonio. Nature has framed, nature has created strange fellows in her time. During this huge time period of civilization, nature has created 2 types of human beings. During this human civilization, nature has created 2 types of human beings. some that will evermore peep through their eyes. Some people are there. They will peep through their eyes. The meaning is written there. Love so much that the eyes seem to peep out the folds of their eyelids. It seems that their eyes will come out, pop out from the eye holes. Even they close their eyes also, the eyes will come out. Such way they love. At anything they will love. These people also don't have any kind of sense. And laugh like parrots at bagpipe. And they are laughing like what? They laugh like parrots. The way parrots laugh, they also laugh like that. At bagpipe. Bagpipe is a kind of musical instrument that creates a kind of sad tone, very painful tone. Some people are there in this world, they will also laugh at the saddest music, the most painful music in this world. They are the people of no sense, no common sense. So some people are created by nature who lack common sense, and they even laugh at the saddest song in the world. They can even laugh at the music produced by bagpiper. And other of such vinegar aspect, such people, some people are there, they do have vinegar aspect, that means bitter behavior, a bitter kind of character. They are always sad, always boring, and always irritated. They don't like to talk to anyone, they remain angry all the time, they remain silent and very much deserved all the time. And others of such vinegar aspect, that they will not show their teeth in the well smile. If they smile also, they will not show their teeth. They will smile by closing their lips. In such way they will smile that they will never show their teeth. So they are very, very reserved kind of person. They will not show their teeth while smiling. Otherwise people will understand this man can also smile. That means they remain silent most of the time. Here he is pointing Antonio by saying at that sad person, or saying at this particular term. Though Nestor swear the jest be laughable. Try to understand who is Nestor. First let us go through the meaning. Though Nestor swear, Nestor confirms. Just mean the joke, be laughable. Nestor was one of the most serious characters in Greek mythology. He was a general. He was a Greek general. And when the Battle of Troy was fought, now Battle of Troy, hopefully you know little bit, and if you don't know, later I will tell you the story of Battle of Troy. The Battle of Troy was fought between King Priam and Agamemnon. King Priam had two sons, one was Hector, another was Paris. So they fought with the Greeks, and Greek army was led by Agamemnon. And this man, this Nestor, was the general. He was very serious kind of person. When the battle was fought, he was 110 years old. He did not take part directly in that battle, but his mind was furious, extremely fast, and he was extremely intelligent. He advised the fighters, they advised the soldiers. He helped the soldiers to fight the battle properly, and ultimately they won the battle. He was the one who designed and who made the concept of the Trojan horse which was sent to Troy. Later on I will tell you about all these stories, but first let us know that he was a Greek general who was extremely serious and was of 110 years age. He did not fight the battle directly, but his thoughts, his concept helped the Greeks to win the battle. He remained silent. He used to remain silent all the time. He was extremely serious person. So where what is said, that there are some jokes in the world can be considered as laughable by Nestor, but there are some people like Antonio in this world, they will also not laugh at those jokes. They will not show their teeth in the well smile. Such people are there, they will never show their teeth when they smile. Though Nestor, even that joke is confirmed and laughed at by Nestor too. Even Nestors can smile, but people like Antonio, who are of vinegar aspect, will never smile. So here we end today's lesson. Later on we will go through other chapters. Thank you.